Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks, and I just did part one, so this is part two, and I actually named part one, so you can go back and look at it. And if you didn't watch it, you need to watch it to figure out how we made this pattern with this item right here and fill this in. But I'm just going to make the video a little shorter. I'm just going to steal one of these, and I'm going to go to Object and Group and Ungroup and just grab. Well, I'm going to have to break them apart again. Group and Ungroup. I just want one of them. So we're going to drag this guy off the side, and we're just going to delete all this. Now, this is a little bit different of a pattern. It's a little bit more tricky, but I'm going to try the 1 inch because our item is 2 inches by 2 inches. So we've got this one right here. We need to flip to and move them over there. And if you nudge this, it's so much easier. Control D and make a duplicate and nudge it over twice. Then mirror it opposite. Now that doesn't look like it would work, but it does. I'm going to hit the plus sign this time, and I'm going to rotate this guy 90 degrees, and I'm going to move it over and up. I'm going to take this one, I'm going to hit the plus sign again, mirror the other direction, and move it down to the two notches of 1 inch. And then you just keep going. Control D and make a duplicate. Tell you what, let me back up here. It'd be better if you group this and make sure you get it all, because this box is actually past here, as you see, because the colors. So group a lot of it and then group it. Now we can Control D. I'm still using the 1 inch. I could change it. And then if we do this one again, I don't know why I keep hitting that. We've got a better pattern. Now we could group all this, Control G, Control D to make a duplicate. This particular pattern's a little easier to work with. You know, we still got some funny parts in there. You know what, you can always go past and come back if you think you haven't gone far enough. And we're just trying to get enough of them. So Control D, move it over. And then at one point, we're going to have to move it up. You can see, you can actually go there and then move it up or down, those two 1 inch segments. I should really go up. That way I'm going to have more in my box. Well, maybe not. And you could just keep doing this, but you've got to make sure you select them all. Control D. After this one, we should have plenty. Now, I could have changed my nudge factor to 4, figured it out. But when you're kind of doing this, and like I said in the first video, it really slows down your computer because there's a lot going on. One more click and we're there. We're there. Now just let me just move these out of the way. And you see I made it huge. It doesn't have to be near that big. And when you first do this, you definitely do not want to engrave something that big. Because when 3D engraving, you need to make multiple passes. I'm going to Control G and make a group of that. And you can make different shapes. Let's make a circle this time. See, it's slowing down. I can't even hardly make an ellipse. But don't let that scare you. Now, one word of warning, if you want to right now, it'd be a good time to save this file. Because if something happens, during this next process, let's see how that looks. You've lost all your work. That looks good enough. And then we've got the others grouped. So we're going to go right here. See how long it's taken in our weld tools fixing to come up and go to intersect. It's because there's so much going on. And it might help if I reduced it in size. This should just take a second. And this is where your program could crash, but it worked, so it would have helped to save it, and then just move it out of the way. Now, like in the other video I stated, take this and convert it to a bitmap. Select it all, go up to bitmap and convert it to a grayscale bitmap. For some reason, on my epilogue, sometimes some of these won't even print because there's so much going on. Anyway, I hope that helped a little bit, and thank you for watching.